we're here trying to connect dots.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think, Brad and you both have talked about this. It is not an accident, comrade, as communists like to say, that you're seeing a conflagration on the continent of Europe. You're now seeing a conflagration in the Middle East. There may yet be one or more fronts opened up yet, but what's coming for sure as a result, I believe, of the Chinese Communist Party deliberately setting those fires, encouraging their proxies to act aggressively, to distract us, to deplete our resources, and perhaps even render us incapable of defending ourselves when they act aggressively, whether it's against Taiwan or any of the other places that Brad has just enumerated. But I'm reasonably sure, having another critical dot that needs to be connected here, is the deployment inside our country in recent months of tens of thousands of Chinese People's Liberation Army special operators. There's every reason to believe that another front, another place where those arsonists will be lighting fires is right here in America.
Let me connect the dots, or let me recount the dots you just gave me. You're saying that the Chinese said to Putin, if you go into Ukraine, we won't get in your way. That's okay.
Not only we won't get in your way, we'll help you.
We'll
hold your code
ally.
at the least.
Okay, so that's one
He was
dot.
supposed to get it done in 72 days, 72 hours
didn't.
rather. But it's involved
so
help
there- but
all the
there
way,
was
as
the-
long as they didn't interfere with the genocide games, the Olympics.
And you're saying now that also that China was had the relationship with Iran and Hamas, also was saying this is a good time for you to act.
Go for it.
And you look at the spectacle of two of our aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean, pulling them out of the South China Sea. I think one is actually still here, but it could have been used.
There's one in Westpac right now.
And then the other massive dot is the open border we have, and the number of people that have come into this country, young men come into this country that at first we thought, I don't know there are all sorts of categories of people who would want to harm the United States. It's a long list.
And they're working together.
So all these pieces are working
part of
together.
a very unsavory picture.
This is the Bill Walton Show, and this is a sort of dismayed Bill Walton talking with Frank Gaffney and Brad Thayer about connecting the dots and looking at events on the world stage right now, and they all point towards some sort of coordination. And perhaps Brad, would you call it the head of the snake?
Is the CCP, is the Chinese Communist Party. It's the source of evil in the modern world.
What I worry about is the dot that we didn't really talk about, which is the WHO and the international organizations that China's begun to dominate. And they practically have, talk about elite capture, they have the head of the WHO as their operative. And now,
literally. And
now the Biden administration wants to turn our sovereignty over to the WHO so they can declare any little thing that comes up as an emergency, and claim all the powers that they had during the lockdown.
Yeah. I confess, when we put this book to bed, shortly thereafter, we realized that a whole nother line of attack of this unrestricted warfare that Brad talked about is what they call global governance. And just as you say, Bill, in the microcosm of the World Health Organization, it's true of the United Nations, it's true of any number of other outfits, the World Economic Forum included. These guys the Chinese Communist Party has found willing partners